So it's 3 months later and I'm back. I haven't made a video in so long. This was not planned, of course, but it just happened. We moved into a different apartment. It's a different kitchen again. Patrick had an accident with his motorbike. So the last few weeks we focused on getting him back to health. It was a little bit stressful, but now everything is okay again. And I'm back. So I'm super happy to be back to producing content weekly and to give you new tips and recipes. And today is more of a taking you along on my meal prepping, because I do like more food prepping than meal prepping. I do this every few days, so I don't choose one day in the week where I prep everything for the week. I do it continuously throughout the week, so to take the stress away when I'm hungry and I really want to eat something quick, and to make it easier to make healthy choices. And for every meal prep session I have two things, very important. Number one, music. Put on a playlist to make it more fun. And number two, a drink. And today, it's a beetroot latte, which the recipe I think is on my Instagram. It's super delicious. Yeah. So I would drink a coffee, but I already had 2 or 3, I think. So beetroot latte it is. Today I'm gonna take you along on my usual meal prep process or food prep process, and I'm gonna make oven-baked pumpkin spiced oats, because I like to be prepared for breakfast and have something to grab when I'm hungry in the morning. And second, I'm gonna show you a little trick how you can save some time when you cook like curries or chilies or whatever you need, like onion garlic mix. I'm gonna show you a little food prep trick there. And the third thing we're gonna make is a cashew basil sauce for dipping or as a pasta sauce. And I'm gonna make this because I have basil left in the fridge and I really have to use it up. So we're gonna prep this, and those are the 3 things I'm gonna prep and I'm gonna show you how. For the pumpkin baked oats, we are using a butternut squash, and I just cut it in half and remove the seeds. And then I'm gonna bake it in the oven for probably 40 minutes until it's soft. If you get pumpkin puree ready to go, then of course use that, but I cannot buy it anywhere and get it, so I make it myself, which is super easy. It's no effort at all. It just takes a little time in the oven. So I'm gonna bake this without any seasoning or anything and just put it down face down in the oven, and it's ready to go in about 40 minutes. Pumpkin is in the oven roasting, and meanwhile we're gonna prep everything else because we're gonna use those 40 minutes to do as much as we can so we're quicker. So a lot of my meals, especially now that it's getting colder, it's not really colder in Cyprus, but we are getting there. A lot of those meals in the colder months start with sautéing onion, garlic, celery and carrots. Celery and carrots bring so much amazing flavor into the dishes, and it's super healthy too. So I love this combination. This is where this trick comes in handy to save you a little bit of time. I'm gonna take my onions, my garlic, my celery and my carrots, put it in the processor and mince it for the whole week.
Processor comes in very handy with this trick, but you can also chop it by hand if you don't have one. It just takes a little longer. I put everything into a glass jar and top it off with a bay leaf for better taste, and also some olive oil to preserve everything, and then you just put it in the fridge for 4 to 5 days. I always use 1 or 2 tablespoons and sauté the mix in a non-stick pan when I make my curries, soups or sauces. It's super handy and easy.
Next up is the cashew basil sauce, which is that I have to use up some basil, which doesn't look so good anymore, but there's still a few leaves left and I really want to use them. We're going to make a cheese sauce, and you can use it for pasta or as a dip for veggies or as a dressing for nourish bowls, however you like it. I'm not using a lot of ingredients for the sauce. I'm gonna show you.
Add 1 cup of raw cashews to your blender, soak them before if you need to. I also added 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 cup of water. You can also use a cup of unsweetened plant milk if you like. Then I squeezed half a lime in there, or a lemon in this case, and used a little bit of pepper. I also added the basil, which is fresh basil. You can use a little bit more, but that's all I had. And roughly 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast for the cheese flavor. Then blend everything until it's smooth, and there you go. It keeps for a few days in the fridge, so you don't need to stress using it up, and I just use it for pasta or for veggies or nourish bowls.
We're up to our final dish, the pumpkin baked oats, and the pumpkin is ready. It looks like this, and I already separated around 1 cup because we don't need more. I'm just gonna put the rest of the pumpkin into the fridge or into the freezer and use it later on. And yeah, so this is 1 cup. We're gonna use the blender again, and we're gonna use all the wet ingredients and the pumpkin puree. Mix it up here, then mix the dry ingredients separately, and then combine everything together, put it in a baking dish and up in the oven, which is already preheated because we used it for the pumpkin. Another 40 minutes or so in the oven and it's ready. So let's do it.
Add 1 cup of pumpkin to your blender and also 2 cups of plant-based milk. I use soy milk, which I think is the best option here. And then you're also going to add 1 cup of medjool dates, which are super soft and sweet, and blend it all up. While you're blending the mixture, add all the dry ingredients to a bowl. I used 1 cup of oat flour and 1 cup of oats for texture, then 2 tablespoons of pumpkin spice and 1/2 tablespoon of baking soda and 2 flaxseed eggs to combine everything. I also used some walnuts, which you can use whatever nuts you like or prefer. Just crumble them up and put it to the dry ingredients, and then the pumpkin mixture goes in there as well, and you just stir everything until it's well combined. Now transfer the mixture into a baking dish lined with parchment paper and distribute everything evenly. And I used 1 apple and sliced it finely and put it on top, which is the best part of the whole thing, if you ask me. And then I also put some cinnamon on top, and then it goes into the oven for around 25 minutes by 180 degrees or 356 degrees Fahrenheit.
So excited to eat this now. I'm just gonna take it out and cut it and try. It's still super hot. So this is how it looks. Cut it here. It is steaming. It is basically like a pie for breakfast. I'm gonna try. It's super hot. I'm gonna burn myself, I know it, but I don't care. Oh my god, it's so good. So yeah, sorry. I hope you liked. I swear I don't know when it's in focus and when not. I always look at the screen, so that it doesn't help. Yeah. So I hope you liked this video. It is a video different than the other ones I did. Also, it is with weird angles because I have no idea how to film in this kitchen. It's a little bit like awkward shaped. I have a new camera. Everything is different, but it's so much fun for me. Stay tuned for next week. Next week I'm gonna do a gluten-free bread recipe with only 4 ingredients. I'm gonna use 6, but technically you only need 4. It's super easy. It's the best gluten-free bread I've ever had. I'm not lying. It's so good. It's super easy to make. If you're gluten-free like I am, this will change your life, I promise. So stay tuned for next week. Hit the subscribe button, like my video. If you like the video, it's for free and it helps me a lot. Stay tuned, and I will share what I'm gonna do with all my food prep on Instagram stories. So head on over there. I'm also on TikTok, where I post videos almost every day, also recipes, so hop on over there as well. And I'm gonna see you next week. Bye.